This is A's Cast Live, your comprehensive look at the Oakland Athletics.
And the pitch is swung on, hit the right field, hit deep. Whitefield going back at the track, over his head, and over the wall. Do you believe that?
And 29 other MLB clubs.
Ramirez with a drive to deep right, away back, goal!
Hey, hits a bomb out there by the Rocks. And boy, oh boy, this third inning is now showtime.
It is a Judgian blast. All rise. Here comes the judge.
Join us as we take you inside the baseball universe, from humidors to spin rates to game-changing moments. We have you covered. Spend your afternoon with us next from the town, only on A's Cast Live. Here's Chris Townsend.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of A's Cast Live as we're getting you ready for Game 2 of the Athletics and the Chicago Cubs from the Coliseum. Boy, do we have a lot going on today. Eno Sarris, I'm looking at him as he's getting his – Roy is making sure that his badge is getting scanned because God knows New York, they are worried about all of our badges. We have to get scanned because, you know, we're all worried about who's on the field here at the Coliseum. So, and Nico Hoerner, the kid from Oakland, the kid that grew up in Oakland, who is now a second baseman for the Chicago Cubs, Stanford Cardinal. Mom still lives here in the Bay Area. It's his first time ever to the Coliseum. He grew up going to the Coliseum. I got a chance to interview him earlier today about what it was like. You know, you think about for Nico that you look on the schedule, Cubs don't get here often. He grew up he's a kid born and raised in Oakland, grew up, you know, as he said, Eric Chavez and Miguel Tejada, and then later on, you know, he brought up the run of 12, 13, and 14. I mean, he was a kid in the Bay. I mean, my entire career is essentially him growing up watching A's baseball, and he sees on the schedule, hey, we're going to Oakland. That's a big deal for this guy.
Yeah. I hit with him once at Stanford too, you know, in the cages and talked nerd to him. So we've stayed in touch over the years, and I'm so happy for how he's grown into the player he is. He's kind of a throwback player, and at the perfect time. If you think about the types of skills he has, you can't put the old, like, sort of thick second baseman. You can't do that anymore. You can't put the third baseman at second base anymore. You need a guy who can go to the left and go to the right. You need a kind of a mini shortstop these days because of the shift rules. And he's perfectly suited for, you know, shift rules. You know, he puts balls in play all the time. You know, shift rules. He's really good on defense at second. The stolen base rules. He's got 8 stolen bases in like 2 weeks. You know, so he's the type of player that we're going to see more of.
Yeah, he's leading baseball in stolen bases right now. He got another one last night. He's got 9. This is Eno Sarris. Nico will be here at 5:30. Ken Rosenthal also have the Athletic. Good chance he is going to be here today. But you know what Ken Rosenthal doesn't have? He doesn't have his own beer. He doesn't have his own sandwich. And he doesn't have his own open.
The Eno Sarris Show is sponsored by Fieldwork Brewing Company. With 8 taproom locations in Northern California, Fieldwork brings you fresh craft beer direct from the source. Fieldwork will also ship beer direct to your door if you live in California. Visit fieldworkbrewing.com.
I get accused on this program, and I guess I'm a little different than a lot of people, that I've worked in other sports. I worked in the NFL for years. I've worked in the NBA. I see how I've been in those cultures. I've traveled in the NFL. I've traveled in Major League Baseball. So I've been fortunate to cover the big 3. And so I'll talk about the other sports. And one thing that has always driven me nuts is how we look at young players, and we're so fearful of what's going to happen with young players if we bring them up and they didn't have this many innings in the minor leagues and they didn't have this many at-bats and everything. Well, you know what? Right now, and the A's hadn't promoted a guy from Double-A to the big leagues in a long, long time. How about Mason Miller? It has just been announced. I know a lot of A's fans have been following his career because the guy is big. He throws really, really hard. He's 6'5". He's had a lot of injuries, but 11 games he's pitched in the minor leagues. He's only started 10, 28 2/3 career innings in the minor leagues. He's here, and he's starting tomorrow.
I think this could be the beginning of a trend. I don't know if it's the beginning or the middle or wherever we are on the trend, but I think it could be part of a trend in baseball. A farm director once told me, if my minor league pitchers have major league pitch grades on their pitches, why are they in the minor leagues? And this is part of, as we get better at measuring process, and we can tell you that, oh, your pitches move like this and do this, so they're going to play. Then why are you in the minor leagues anymore? You know, if I can tell you, like, as a batter, your bat bath is good, your swing decisions are good. You know, it doesn't even matter that what you're hitting. Like, you could be hitting 210, and if I can say you hit the ball hard, you're making the right decisions, and you play defense well, you should be in the major leagues. So I think we're going to see teams do a little bit more of that.
No different that I go and draft you out of the University of whatever in football, whether you're in the SEC, you're in the Big 10, Pac-12, Big 12, you come in, you may not start right away, but you're going to play. You're definitely going to be on special teams. I'm bringing you in to play. I'm not going to have you sit in some minor league system for years. NBA, the same way. Like, bring these guys. It's like you got guys who are better sitting in the minor leagues where you're trying to justify an archaic system. You're wasting the time. You're wasting the bullets. You're wasting. Let's go. Bring them up. Let's go. Compete.
And definitely where the minor leagues are headed is fewer minor league teams, fewer minor leaguers. Like, we just know that. They just had a CBA with the minor league union, and it reduced the amount of players that every team is allowed to have in the minor leagues. So the pressure, and this is on the heels of them reducing the amount of minor league teams that teams have. So the pressure in the sort of direction we're going with minor leagues is fewer minor league teams, fewer minor league players, better ones, better treated, better pay in the minor leagues. But if you have fewer minor league spots, that's going to push pressure on guys to put them in the major leagues.
And this is the other thing to think about it. We're talking about an absolute, I mean, you want to talk about archaic system. The minor leagues, they really don't have quality weight rooms. They don't have quality training staffs. Their stuff is terrible.
Do you know how often they flood?
These guys are going
I hadn't known this till recently.
These guys are going from college baseball where their data's better, their training's better, everything's better in college baseball. And they go to the minor leagues and they'll tell you it's way worse. So it's like, what? If you have a team like the A's that's not winning, it's better to have a guy come up and learn and be treated far better.
The coaching is better. The food is better.
Everything's better up here.
Yeah,
Why wouldn't you want him up here versus you're having him someplace in Texas or somewhere in the middle of nowhere on some minor league stadium? These old minor league stadiums, they're cute. We have the beer batter and all the different things they have, but it's so archaic. They're horrible facilities.
I had a dinner recently with a bunch of former players, and the amount of stories they had that started or ended with floating, sewage was really surprising. There was a lot of floating
They're still
sewage.
playing at the Giants are still playing at San Jose Muni, where they've been playing baseball, minor league baseball at San Jose Muni. George Brett played there it's so long. I played there San Jose State.
What do you think that weight room looks like?
It's awful. I was just recently there. It's so archaic. I played there 30 years ago. San Jose State, that was our home field. They're still playing there.
Yeah.
There was a football team, Bill Walsh. You want to talk about how old San Jose Muni is? Bill Walsh coached a football team there, and it was AstroTurf. That's how old this facility is. Would you rather have guys in the minor leagues, or would you rather have them here?
Yeah. I mean, it's still,
especially if you're not trying to win the division.
still, you got to balance it. There's always, people thinking about win cycles, and I want to, keep this player under team control for longer and stuff. But sometimes you just want the best for the player. You want the player to be the best they can be, and a lot of times that means coming to the major leagues. Another thing that happens in the major leagues a lot is people talk like the major leaguers talk with you. So you'll have a veteran on your staff. I used to make fun of this when I was a blogger. We used to talk about veteran presence as like, a thing that didn't really exist, but it does exist. And it really almost manifests the most in a bullpen session or out in a bullpen or as they're shagging flies, the pitchers out there. When they play catch, I was just talking to Taylor Rogers, who's over in the Giants, and he said he taught his sweeper to Steven Wilson and Luis Garcia in San Diego. That year, Taylor Rogers was not very good for the Padres, but he taught two really good pitchers better pitches, and he did it in catch play. And he said, just try this. You throw it in catch play, and you say, wow, that really moves. And then you take it to the bullpen, and then you take it out on the field. So that is going to happen more likely at the major league level, where you're talking to major leaguers who have made these adjustments in the past and can teach you, oh, this is how I throw my sweeper.
And I checked in with Dallas Braden because I think he's a great example. Like when you're going to do something like this, when you bring the guy up, if he succeeds, we know how that goes. But if he fails, got to allow him to fail. You got to keep him here a little bit. It can't be this up, down, up, down, up, down, what we did with Matt Olson back in the day.
So much stress on every single inning in the minors or the majors.
Mason Miller, bring him up. Bring whoever you're going to bring up. And we don't have a stress environment about winning right now. Bring him up. No matter what happens, continue to let him pitch every 5 or 6 days, whatever it's going to be. Leave him here. Let him learn.
Limited amount of innings with him anyway. You know what I mean? It's not like you're going to let him throw 200 this year.
No.
I mean, he's throwing 28, right? Yeah.
That's what you said.
So if you got 75,
Sandy Alcantara just walked through that door.
Right. So if you want to get 75, and that'd be a good year, then let him be up here where he's going to get the most out of the 75 innings.
All right, let's go around baseball. You mentioned the Padres. I looking at the notes today. I mean, we're still looking about how bad Juan Soto is. He's hitting 111 at Petco Park this year. The numbers have been bad. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, this guy's all-time great." And you're like, "Wait a minute. We now have a more of a sample size of some serious struggles here." Now he's complaining that he doesn't have over 20 seconds in between pitches and to do his thing. The pitch clock is messing with him. I mean, at what point?
I'll give him two things that are real. There are two things that are real that I know are real that may be contributing to struggles. One, the ball was deadened 2 years ago. Major League Baseball announced they were deadening the ball. What that did is kill the opposite field home run. He was an opposite field guy. He's a let the ball travel and, hit it to the opposite field guy. And so that really did hurt his power. That's one real thing. The other real thing is that the hitters are having a harder time, I think, with the pitch clock almost than pitchers. I think there's a lot of hitters who are having a harder time with it. That 8 seconds that you got to get in the box, we're talking now about so many different mitigation strategies. Andrew Bagley wrote a piece about J.D. Davis. He takes time out the minute he steps in for his plate appearance. He takes his first time. He takes it right away because he doesn't want to be sitting there getting ready, look up, bam, pitch. He wants to control. It's all about control, right?
Yeah.
So he wants to control the tempo. So he says, "You're going to wait for me. I'm going to take a timeout. You're going to wait for me to dig in, and you're going to wait. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to get comfortable, and then I'm not going to move after that." So the hitters are learning different ways to deal with it, and I think I will give Soto some of that. He's getting used to it. Yeah, I mean, then there's the third thing, which is there's always noise, and maybe he's just getting unlucky, and maybe it's just a bad stretch, and he's going to have a good stretch, But there between the power's out in front, and he's a let it travel guy, and the opposite field homer is dead. That is detrimental to his approach, and so he needs to look at his teammate Trent Grisham. Used to be a let the ball travel guy, and this year he's being more aggressive and getting out in front. He has as many homers, I think, in this first 2 weeks as he had in all the second half last year or first half last year. So there is something about aggression and seeing the ball, but also getting the ball out in front that he needs to find that new toggle. But I think he's a really quality guy. He was on a Hall of Fame trajectory. I don't think that 2 weeks of hitting 111 mean we got to push the panic button.
But it goes back to when they traded for him. It wasn't good either. So we'll see. Manny Machado's gotten out to a slow start. Tatis Jr.'s coming back. We'll see how that works for Bob Melvin. I said to Vince Catroni, if I could give you a golf club, and I said, when you swing it, you'll get it in the fairway 95% of the time. How much would you pay for that golf club? He said, I'd pay anything for it. Well, why do I bring up 95%? Stealing third base right now in Major League Baseball this year is 95%. And and we're now tracking leads, which is great. Now the leads at first base are bigger.
Yeah.
The leads at second aren't. So I think players are not comfortable yet for getting way off second. Doesn't matter.
So it could even go up.
They're stealing third at 90. I'm looking at the percent right now. We're just over 82%
Why
clip.
would that be?
For stealing, just sitting second base, it's 82%.
Yes,
third base is 95.
We were already pushing. So with the science of it, and I just talked to Nico about this because he has those steals, and the science of it now is the pop time of the catcher, the time to the plate of the pitcher, and there's a whole swath. There's maybe a tenth of the pitchers you're never going to steal on because they're just super fast to the plate, right?
Yeah.
And he said it's always off the pitcher. And a tenth of the pitchers you're always going to steal off of Noah Syndergaard because they're super slow to the plate. And then in the middle, you have to find your place. What we had been doing is sciencing it up so far. And, we had pushed it to 76, 77, 78%, which was the highest percentage in the history of baseball last few years anyway. That's without the new rules. So now pushing that to 82% doesn't surprise me so much because the base paths are shorter and you have a limit on how many times you can throw over. So that makes sense to me. The other one doesn't. This third base thing doesn't make sense to me.
95.
I know that's
like 94.
So,
I'm rounding up. It's 94 something.
That is so high. That is almost guaranteed success. And there's got to be something in the rules or something that explains it, and I don't have it off the top of my head right now.
A lot of moves are being made around here. I'm not trying to break anything. It looks like, though, obviously a move's going to have to be made. It looks like I don't know if it's for sure yet. I'm kind of being informed. It looks like one of the relievers will be going on the IL. I'm going to wait until it's official. I'm not trying to break anything here, but obviously you got to make a move. What will that move mean? Cap, people thought about Kaprelian, who it's a start tomorrow, but it looks like it's going to be a reliever that is going to go
the corresponding move for Mason.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a reliever. I got to get clearance.
This could be the ideal rotation to have a 6-man rotation. Because they have so many young guys that are trying to figure it out. They don't have a lot of innings for all of them. One of the reasons you don't do a 6-man rotation is you have studs at the very top. Why would you do a 6-man rotation in New York and have fewer starts from Verlander and Scherzer? You know what I mean? You want as many starts as you can from those guys. But here, I think with a young rotation the way it is, I think that this would be a great place to do a 6-man rotation.
I got numbers on Cody Bellinger from the last 2 years to this year. It's early. Cody is swinging it more like the Cody Bellinger we remembered when we said, wait a minute, this kid's an MVP. We used to talk about he could be the next $200 million contract. A lot has changed since that time. But
now we're talking about Ohtani being the next $500 million.
I mean, the last 2 years he had $193. He was terrible. He's swinging it better, 5 for 5 last night. I believe he's going to make this series.
He's hit a ball. He hit a ball harder. I don't know if it was last night, but he's hit a ball harder recently than he hit in the last 2 years.
Yeah, I think it was the home run down in L.A. to right field.
Yeah.
He and his girlfriend are about to have their second child, so he could be.
That's going to go on the tank. He's going to be.
He could
leave up all night.
He could leave at any time, but I think he's going to be here for the next 2 games. But I mean, Cody Bellinger. If Cody Bellinger gets back to close to what he was when he was the MVP, looking at this Cubs team. They're feeling it. We got a little insight on the Cubs today dealing with them. They're feeling it right now. They have a lot of confidence. But Cody Bellinger may be the steal of the offseason.
Yeah, he's really looking. I looked at his contact rates too, and he always swings at high pitches, but he's had that problem with an uppercut swing that he misses the high pitches. This year, he's making contact with the high pitches. So I think there's probably health going better. That's what you see with that 109, getting back to that max exit velocity, but also something mechanical that he figured out. So in between those two things, I think it'll be a really good year for him. And what I can say for the Cubs is they look like a more complete team than their competitors in the Central. You've got the Cardinals, who I think have some problems on the pitching side. They have a good lineup again, but on the pitching side, they were a team that allowed too many balls in play. And with the shift the way it is, it's not working out in their favor. They were third last in strikeout rate last year, the Cardinals. And then the Brewers always struggled to put a lineup together that scores runs. So and they've had some injuries now with Corbin Burns and Brandon Woodruff hurt. So there's a chance here for the Cubs to sneak in and take that division.
If people remember down in spring training, when you were in Florida, one of your hits was from a Rays game. You were at the Trop because of the bad weather. You saw some good things. So I'm sure we knew the Rays were going to be good. But I don't think you're surprised by their hot start.
No, not really. I mean, one of the things that needed to happen already happened. I think Wander Franco is ascending into kind of star status, maybe even superstar status. He's a guy who's patterned his game after Jose Ramirez, and he plays shortstop and is starting to hit like Jose Ramirez in his peak. So I think that's a really important thing for them. And then they got bad news today, and Jeffrey Springs being hurt. Yeah. They are the type of team that has always a next man up kind of mentality. Taj Bradley is maybe one of the best 3 pitching prospects in baseball. He's the guy who's going to come replace Springs. And then they got a guy named Tyler Glass now who's getting ready to start pitching off the mound. So, I think that they just have such a group of players that they're always like, hey, half our guys are going to get injured, and we got these other half that are going to come up and produce.
Do you have any major surprises to start this season, whether it's in the numbers or just teams, individuals?
I think the Cubs are a pleasant surprise, and I don't know. It's still pretty early to make any proclamations about what's going on. I do think that I think that a lot of the stuff that we said ahead of the season is proving to be correct, that the stolen base numbers would be a huge increase with the rules. And then we're also seeing that offense is big up because of the shift rules.
Is the ball a little different?
And the drag is down. The ball is flying more than it used to. And that is something that is meaningful in small samples. So I don't know what that means.
So I could bust out my X-Files music and I could go all conspiracy on you. I did that one night. Well,
but that's too many toggles, man. You allow them to run crazy on the base paths. You change the shift rules and you change the ball. You're liable to have every game go 7-5.
Well, oh God, I don't want to bring up the gambling aspect, but most A's games have gone over.
Yeah,
most A's games have gone the over. I just know that from
that's
my gambling guy in Vegas. Like, hey, do you realize? I think it was going into yesterday's game. I think the A's were 10-5-1 hitting the over, and then you look at last night's game at the over.
That's the betting market trying to get used to what the new run environment is. I think you got to get used to it. But we knew ahead of the time. I said on the show that analysts told me that it would be 1 run extra per game due to the shift.
My whole thing, why I think it's a conspiracy is, and it's understandable that baseball would be a little bit worried. We got all these things going on, whether they're going to work or not. We know deep down they're going to work, but what if they don't? At least if the ball's flying out of the ballpark, everybody's happy, right?
You got to keep the homers going.
So it's like, did we? And that is the problem. Like, in all these other sports, we're not questioning what kind of puck we're using. We're not questioning the football. We're not questioning why do we continue to question what baseball we're using?
Part of it is sort of insane because there is a lot of batch to batch variation in the baseball. It is the only one that is handmade out of all the things you've said, so there's always going to be some variation.
I mean, the puck is just rubber.
Right, yeah. Like you can just have some machine,
frozen rubber.
Some machine just stamp that out, right? That's going to be the same.
NHL.
Yeah,
NHL.
Exactly. So that's always going to be a source of noise. And going back, I think the home run explosion in '87 was due to a ball change. So like there have been changes in the past. Some people think that some of the steroid home run explosion could be due to a ball change too. So this is a thing that we now can measure precisely. And so we are more up in arms about it every year because we can measure it precisely.
Yeah.
But it has been going on for a long time.
All right. We normally wouldn't have you to lead off the show, but we had to get you out of here early. What are you doing tonight?
Oh, God, you're going to make me admit it on air. I'm going to a fish show. I'm going to a concert in Berkeley. That's where I'm going.
Oh, wow.
Thank you for fitting me in.
How many deep you going to be before Fish even takes the stage?
Well, I threw my back out, so I'm definitely going to go have a beer.
You threw your back out?
I'm trying not to wince right now.
That bad, huh?
Yeah.
You're not on the IL. You're still performing.
Yeah, that's right. I'm battling through it.
So Fish will be a bunch of middle-aged.
Yeah, right.
Isn't that what a Fish concert is these days?
Yep. Thanks for that jab. I do listen to young people's music sometimes.
Well, thank you for coming on your weekly show. I mean, it's an honor to have him. I mean, he's one of the top columnists in baseball for The Athletic. It's great to have all the insight and field work. We got to get something going here soon. We got to get it. We got it.
Leandro, we're gonna get it done.
We got to get
Maybe
going
on this next road trip.
Have a fun time at the concert.
Thank you.
Will you please play the man? Oh, wait a minute. How is the sandwich was made up of what in New York? A sandwich is now named after him.
That's right, the knuckleball. Although not named after me, but I spent a year making it. And this is gonna sound gross, but it was great. It was a braised pork knuckle head cheese that we then breaded and fried. And what happens then is the gelatin inside, almost like a soup dumpling, a zalongbao. When they put gelatin inside and you heat it up, it turns into soup. So basically, we had like a soup cutlet. It was crunchy on the outside, and the inside was kind of like a pork soup. And we put some tomato sauce around that and put it on ciabatta. So good.
Oh, I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm in. Where that's in New York?
Yeah.
We got to do an A's Cast Live road trip to New York.
You know what? We've got a roadmap now. I'm going to go to Fieldwork and be like, hey, let's do a special food. Let's do a
Can
special
they send
drink.
it out to us?
Well, no. We'll do something new with Fieldwork. You and I will come up with a sandwich.
Deal. The great Eno Sarris. Play the man's outro.
The Eno Sarris Show is sponsored by Fieldwork Brewing Company. With 8 taproom locations in Northern California, Fieldwork brings you fresh craft beer direct from the source. Fieldwork will also ship beer direct to your door if you live in California. Visit fieldworkbrewing.com.
We've got more coming up next right here on A's Cast Live.
This is Chris Townsend. There are 2 things that are a must for me: comfort and style. Whether I'm playing golf, going to dinner, I've got to have the right feel. That's why I've partnered with Linksole, and you're going to love Linksole. They have just released their new spring line, new fabrics for their polos, lightweight and perfect for technical performance. Linksole also has new styles for their layers and hoodies with cool prints and seasonal colors. You know what they say in the big leagues: look good, play good. Go to linksole.com. That's linksole.com.
Chevron with Techron has unbeatable engine cleaning power, and it gives you unbeatable mileage for all kinds of unbeatable destinations, like time in the sun at the beach, or time in the sun riding roller coasters, or a day in the sun hiking mountains. Well, probably just one mountain would be enough for a day, but hiking a mountain is still an unbeatable choice for how to spend time. Download the Chevron app now to get unbeatable mileage at locations near you.
This is Chris Townsend, and if you're looking for a great place to eat and watch games, go see my friends at the Chicken Pie Shop of Walnut Creek. The Chicken Pie Shop is one of the hottest restaurants in Walnut Creek. You're not going to find a better menu, and come try their world-famous chicken pie that has been served in Southern California for 86 years. Spacious indoor and outdoor dining, perfect for your next private party or corporate event. Don't forget free parking. For more information, go to chickenpieshopwc.com. That's chickenpieshopwc.com.
If you're looking for a new mattress, Nest Bedding has you covered. Sleep on the same mattress Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson sleeps on. Nest Bedding is the #1 brand of online mattresses and the Bay Area's favorite mattress store. Take home the Easy Breather pillow. The New York Times calls it their #1 pick. You can navigate their easy-to-use website, nestbedding.com. That's nestbedding.com. Green and Gold fans, use the coupon code Oakland and you get 10% off your entire order. Nest Bedding, love where you sleep.
Thanks to the Xfinity 10G network, my little brother's friends won't leave our house. When I was their age, internet with basically no interruptions was a pipe dream.
You sound like my grandpa.
Now through April 23rd, new customers can get 200 megabit Xfinity internet during our limited time Xfinity 10G network launch celebration for just $25 a month for 2 years. Go to Xfinity.com/10G, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and devices. Actual speeds vary.
Make your way to the ballpark on Sunday, April 30th to watch your A's go head-to-head with the Cincinnati Reds. Get there early to grab your very own Tony Kemp poster, presented by Kaiser Permanente. This one-of-a-kind poster giveaway features TK and his iconic catch.
Diving play to his right. Unbelievable catch by Tony Kemp. Spectacular.
Tickets start at just $10 and are available at athletics.com/tickets. That's athletics.com/tickets.
Hey, Billy, this deck is great for getting everyone together.
Thanks. We're really enjoying the outdoor space, especially on a day like today.
What's the material?
Humboldt Redwood from Ashby Lumber. They gave us a great deal, provided us with a quick quote, and we couldn't be happier. We even found a great contractor through their online contractor directory.
Don't miss a day outdoors. Visit Ashby Lumber in Berkeley or Concord to see our stock of naturally strong, naturally beautiful Humboldt Redwood. Find out more at ashbylumber.com for all your building needs. Ashby Lumber.
Innovation is at the core of Cal State East Bay. like at our Green Biome Institute, where faculty and students preserve genetic information from California's endangered plants, or how we open doors for local entrepreneurs at our Small Business Development Center. From educators to nurses to STEM professionals, Cal State East Bay has real impact throughout the region's neighborhoods, boardrooms, and the entire economy. Be part of the innovation. Connect with Cal State East Bay at csueastbay.edu/impact.
Humanity has accomplished a whole lot so far. We created penicillin, the automobile, and the internet, not to mention drones, duct tape, and the hot dog. It's all thanks to the power of human connections. And Ring Central's here to make that even easier, more seamlessly and securely, on a platform built to grow your business. Say hello to a whole new way to say hello. Visit ringcentral.com and say hello to possibilities. Ring Central. Message, video, phone, together.
When Northern California businesses need some pop in their lineup, they call the bank rooted in the East Bay, Mechanics Bank. Since 1905, Mechanics Bank has been helping Bay Area and Northern California businesses find success and perform at the top of their game. See how they can make a difference in your business today. Call or stop by your local branch or visit mechanicsbank.com. Mechanics Bank, the official East Bay bank of the Oakland A's. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Spring is here and summer is right around the corner, which means two things: golf and special events. Hi, Vince Cotroneo for Cinnabar Hills Golf Club in San Jose. First, enjoy the best of Bay Area golf with 27 holes of championship caliber play. Then you'll agree it's the best place to play in Silicon Valley. And two, with its award-winning venue, let Cinnabar Hills cater your upcoming special occasion, including weddings. Enjoy all that Cinnabar Hills has to offer: great golf, food, and incredible views of the Bay Area. Learn more at CinnabarHills.com. That's CinnabarHills.com.
Unlock offers and receive exclusive in-game features by downloading the MLB Ballpark app for iPhone and Android today. Plus, get the latest information on game times, schedules, and more.
Streaming from the town, A's Cast Live continues with Chris Townsend.
I got to tell you, today, mark the date.
What is today, April 18th?
And this is April 18th. I don't even know what the days are anymore. I mean, when's the last time we had a day off?
Well, we have one Thursday, but the last one was
Well, not you. You get the weekend. When's the last time
Whoa, I work Sunday.
When's the last time I had the day off?
Don't remember. We have Thursday off.
I got Thursday off. I'm doing TV tomorrow.
Yeah, you're TV Townie tomorrow.
I'm TV Townie. I'll be in for the great Brody Brazil. I am still chapped at the way that Dave Stewart, Glenn Kuiper,
saw Kuiper earlier,
Dallas Braden, how they attack him for fantasy camp when my man Brody came back like Willis Reed and helped lead his team to the championship.
I'm tired of all the promotion for Brody. I'm over Brody.
Why are you over
Brody?
Brody?
And his heroic comeback. It's played out now.
Brody's a great human being. And you know where he went to school?
San Jose State.
Yeah, don't forget it.
Hey, how do you feel now knowing that there's another Pittsburgh guy at the ballpark? We're multiplying. Mason Miller's now here.
Is he a Pittsburgh guy?
Bethel Park High School. Waynesburg University.
Yeah, where the hell is that?
That's in Western PA, not far from where I went to school.
Where did he originally? Didn't he go somewhere else?
No, he went there, then he went to Gardner Webb, I'm pretty sure. Or it was the other way around.
Neither of these, I have no idea where these schools are, what they are.
Gardner Webb's in North Carolina.
What division are these guys in?
Waynesburg is in the...
How's he 6'5", 200 not playing D1?
Waynesburg.
That's my first question. Get him up. Where's Mason Miller? Get him here.
Waynesburg's in the President's Athletic Conference, and then Gardner Webb is in what they call the Big South.
The Big South?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
So there you go, Mason Miller.
I want him here. Go. You throw 100 miles an hour and you're 6'5". How are you playing low level baseball in college?
I mean, think about it. He grew up in Pittsburgh where the weather sucks until April.
He's still throwing what was he throwing 100, or did you just figure that out?
No, I think he was. I mean, I remember when I played, when I played high school baseball, no one threw that hard. There was like one kid who threw that hard.
Nobody threw 100.
There was a guy that threw like in the mid-90s.
Like Nolan Ryan was the only guy in Alvin, Texas, and everybody showed up and went, how is this even possible? Okay. Getting back to April 18th, it's a Tuesday. I want everybody, I'm not going to say mark your calendars because none of you use calendars anymore. Put it on your phone. Today is the day everything changed. if you've been listening to the Clubhouse show, I walk you through how things work. And I know it's like I spread breadcrumbs. You've got to follow them, though, because I just can't come out and just spill everything. I put breadcrumbs out there. You got to follow it. I said, this isn't going to last. That's why I write the 26 down at the start of every single year. I got it in my portfolio. I got the 26. And if you come out and you're losing out of the gate, this is not going to be this 26 isn't going to stay. Now, obviously, with injuries and stuff, but that's not what I was talking about. Blackburn, Ruzinski. Blackburn, by the way, the setback now with the blister. My God.
Ruzinski pitching tonight in Vegas.
There's going to be changes. That's how this front office rolls. And what is really going to be the stuff to look at is now this is truly 100% David Force show. Ran into good friend of the program, Billy Bean, the other day.
That's correct. Oh, here comes Ken Rosenthal.
Billy and I had a nice little chat the other day.
I'll move out of the way.
And obviously, he is not. He's just in support of David. That's what he does. He is not. It's a day-to-day David Force show, and David is not going to sit around. And we're seeing it. Not going to sit around and just wait. And Ken Rosenthal, the great Ken Rosenthal, is going to join us here, and there's going to be a lot of changes. And it's what it is. That and to have someone like Mason Miller, not someone that's had a bunch of time in AAA. I mean, this is something that he's coming up, and we are going to see him. And it's refreshing to know that we're going to kind of make those changes as the great Ken Rosenthal joins us here on A's Cast Live once again. It's great to have you back. How are you?
Chris, how are you? Good to be here.
And it was like 2 spring trainings ago last time we saw
I
you.
know. Well, it's been a little bit crazy the last couple of years. Lockout,
Yeah.
WBC, so it's great to be here.
Well, you're a great person to ask, because speaking of the WBC and the new rules, I couldn't remember the last time going into a season we had so much momentum, good momentum going into, and now with the rules working, just what do you think of baseball right now?
I would totally agree with that the momentum coming into this season was much better than in the past couple, right? We had the lockout, we had COVID, we had all kinds of things going on, and the WBC was a great launching point for this season. And then the rules. The rules, Chris, have made, as you know, a huge difference in the play, the pace of play, the time of game, of course, but I don't know that that's everything, because we can see a great 3-hour game, but it's the pace of that 3-hour game now that matters. And the sport is just more enjoyable. And I think for the players and talking to them, it's more fun to play. Their athleticism can show. They can do things that maybe they were restricted from doing before. So overall, it's as positive a place for the sport as it's been in quite some time. There's no threat of labor problems. We're 4 years away from that.
Yeah.
It's a good place.
This is Rickey Henderson Field. This is where the greatest base stealer grew up, born and raised here, played here. I'm an 80s kid, so I remember Vince Coleman, Tim Raines. I try and tell all these kids who watch the show, that was baseball to me. We're seeing it again.
Yes, and, well, Rickey, of course, was the ultimate, and there'll never be another Rickey. And I remember covering games in this park, late 80s, early 90s, with some of those teams that they had, and it was so much fun. But, yes, the fact that the running game is back is a huge thing for the sport, and it's exciting. It adds an element that's been missing, and I don't know how it's all going to play out.
Yeah.
Because teams will adjust, they'll do different things, and if the success rate falls, teams will back off. But I don't know how much it's going to fall with these rules. So it's going to be really interesting to see. It'd be interesting to ask Rickey. I think actually the Athletics Brick Garoli did ask him this.
Yeah, that's correct.
How many would you steal in this environment? I forgot Rickey's answer. It was probably like 200 or something. But
well, right now we have a 95% success rate stealing third. He loves stealing third.
Yep.
I mean, I can't even imagine what it would be like any of those guys. But the one thing that I think about, because we started to see a blueprint where all 30 teams look the same, the way they were building their teams. Now, if we get in a game, we're still going to have the Yankees trying to hit the ballpark in certain teams, but now running teams versus home run teams truly built on speed and defense. Isn't that better for our game to have multiple matchups? Styles make fights.
I totally agree. I don't know that it's going to happen. And one executive is explaining to me that the best way to score is still to walk and hit home runs.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that. But my question to him was about the point you just raised. Won't it be good to see maybe Arizona, the way they're playing, Kansas City, the way they're playing? This guy was saying, no. It's still going to be home runs and walks. But I don't necessarily agree with that. And there will be more of a diversity of style here. And that, too, is healthy. The game was too one-dimensional. It was all power on both sides. Velocity is all that mattered. And from an offensive standpoint, hit the ball out of the ballpark. Well, we'll see if velocity holds. It's holding so far as the pitch clock has an effect on guys as time goes on. Will there be more injuries? Will guys lose a little bit of their fastball? Will they throw more breaking pitches because that clock and the accelerated pace takes a toll? I don't know the answers to any of these, but it's going to be really interesting to find out.
If you look in your crystal ball, obviously Oakland is a situation. Baseball needs to figure this out. If you look in your crystal ball, I know you hear a lot of different things. I mean, you're the top insider in our game. What do you think happens with our franchise?
I don't know. And my instinct is they end up in Vegas. But I know from being here that there's tremendous passion here for the team among the team's fans. And while we don't always see all of them here, the ones who are here are extremely passionate, and there are others out there wanting and waiting to come back. So I'm not an expert on Bay Area politics, but if they ever could figure it out, in my view, the franchise could be successful here. And I'm not just saying this because I'm on A's radio or whatever. I've seen this. We all see this, and we all know it. But it has to happen. And how long have we been talking about this? It's insane how long we've been talking about it. So I would hope the commissioner is good to his word and that this gets resolved one way or the other by the end of the year, because it's not a healthy situation for Oakland, for the players, for the staff, for the front office, for the fans. It needs to come to an end.
Let's end on this. As so many things in baseball are changing, our fans understand. As we created A's Cast, what started out as audio, now video. We're by far number one in Major League Baseball. What helps is we're a tech-friendly world here in the Bay Area. But as you mentioned, the interest, I've always said The Athletic. People have thought paying for a website, well, it's journalism that's second to none. Eno Sarris joins us every single week. He was just here. I talk about whether you're a football fan, a baseball fan. I get all the soccer updates, NBA for Warrior fans. Subscribe to The Athletic because it's truly great journalism. We now have the problem in baseball with cable.
Yeah.
So we took a leap with this. You took a leap in your career with The Athletic. And I think there's going to be a whole new leap with how we're watching games on devices or television. Our world, we've been in it, but I think baseball, people are starting to realize how we get our information and how we watch baseball is changing in front of our eyes.
It always does. And I can just look at my own career. I've had to adapt at many different stages because of the different forms of getting information out there and talking about things and writing about things. And that's the natural course of events. And as technology becomes more prominent and new things are introduced, that's what happens. In baseball, yes, there's an adjustment period that's going to have to go on now with the streaming situation. We all know that. Hopefully we get to a better place where fans are not blacked out anymore. And it seems to me the people in the commissioner's office understand this. It's getting from point A to point B that's not so easy. I get that, but this too needs to be resolved.
Well, I'll tell you what, second to none, whether it's writing, television, you name it, he's the best in our game, and it's always an honor to have you on the program.
I appreciate that, man. Thanks very much.
We got more coming up next right here on A's Cast Live.
With more sunshine returning, it's time to get outside and make the most of what Cinnabar Hills Golf Club has to offer, like 27 championship caliber holes tucked in the beautiful hills of San Jose. And take advantage of their amazing Bay Area views for your next special event. It's all for you at Cinnabar Hills Golf Club, an award-winning venue designed to peacefully take you away from the bustle of Silicon Valley. Go to CinnabarHills.com. That's CinnabarHills.com.
This is Chris Townsend. There are two things that are a must for me: comfort and style. Whether I'm playing golf, going to dinner, I've got to have the right feel. That's why I've partnered with Linksole, and you're going to love Linksole. They have just released their new spring line, new fabrics for their polos, lightweight and perfect for technical performance. Linksole also has new styles for their layers and hoodies with cool prints and seasonal colors. You know what they say in the big leagues: look good, play good. Go to linksole.com. That's linksole.com.
If you're looking for a great place to eat and watch games, go see our friends at the Chicken Pie Shop of Walnut Creek. The Chicken Pie Shop is one of the hottest restaurants in Walnut Creek. You're not going to find a better menu, and come try their world-famous chicken pie that has been served in Southern California for 86 years. Spacious indoor and outdoor dining, perfect for your next private party or corporate event. Don't forget free parking. For more information, go to chickenpieshopwc.com. That's chickenpieshopwc.com.
Chevron with Techron has unbeatable engine cleaning power, and it gives you unbeatable mileage for all kinds of unbeatable destinations, like time in the sun at the beach, or time in the sun riding roller coasters, or a day in the sun hiking mountains. Well, probably just one mountain would be enough for a day, but hiking a mountain is still an unbeatable choice for how to spend time. Download the Chevron app now to get unbeatable mileage at locations near you.
Like sports, business is about winning. Championship decisions are business decisions based on what it takes to help your company win. And that's why there's UBO Business Services, specializing in helping you win every day by streamlining workflows, managing documents, and providing the best-in-class office technology. Make your championship decision with UBO Business Services. Visit them at ubeo.com. That's ubeo.com.
A's fans need Friday night plans? Well, we got you covered. Get 4 tickets and parking for any Friday night game starting at just $49 with the Friday 4-pack presented by Chevrolet. Save big and enjoy great matchups, post-game fireworks and drone shows, giveaways, and more this 2023 season.
He drills one to right, way back, and no doubt. And that quickly, the A's have taken the lead. Second deck.
Friday night tickets are available at athletics.com/value. That's athletics.com/value.
If you're looking for the latest green and gold gear for the 2023 season, then look no further than athletics.com/shop for your officially licensed gear. That's athletics.com/shop.
Innovation is at the core of Cal State East Bay, like at our Green Biome Institute, where faculty and students preserve genetic information from California's endangered plants, or how we open doors for local entrepreneurs at our Small Business Development Center. From educators to nurses to STEM professionals, Cal State East Bay has real impact throughout the region's neighborhoods, boardrooms, and the entire economy. Be part of the innovation. Connect with Cal State East Bay at csueastbay.edu/impact.
Is convenience a state of mind or a real thing? At Extra Mile, it's a real thing, and it's in everything they do. The stores are spacious, organized, clean, and well lit, so you can get in quickly, get what you need, and keep going. It's just what you'd expect from a place serving up the hot and fresh food and snacks you love. So treat you right, and check out Extra Mile's fresh take on the convenience store experience. Extra Mile convenience stores at select Chevron and Texaco locations.
If you're looking for a new mattress, Nest Bedding has you covered. Sleep on the same mattress Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson sleeps on. Nest Bedding is the #1 brand of online mattresses and the Bay Area's favorite mattress store. Take home the Easy Breather pillow. The New York Times calls it their #1 pick. You can navigate their easy-to-use website, nestbedding.com. That's nestbedding.com. Green and Gold fans, use the coupon code Oakland and you get 10% off your entire order. Nest Bedding, love where you sleep.
The A's YouTube page is your go-to destination for A's video content. Get access to great highlights, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, classic games, A's Cast Live, and more. Visit youtube.com/athletics.
Hey, A's fans. You know that running your own business is a slugfest every day. That's why businesses have been counting on Mechanics Bank since 1905. From operating lines of credit to equipment and real estate loans, they can help build your lineup to meet today's challenges and prepare for tomorrow's opportunities. Stop by your local branch or visit mechanicsbank.com today. Mechanics Bank, the official East Bay Bank of the Oakland A's. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. All loans subject to program eligibility and credit approval.
A's Cast Live continues from Ricky Henderson Field. Here's Chris Townsend.
Yeah, how many bags would Ricky steal today? I don't even think you can put a number on it. It's I mean, we're getting this data, and it's just guys are taking bigger leads. Now, I don't know what the leads are because we didn't have StatCast. Got to remember, a lot of the stuff that we're bringing up these days, we talk about the StatCast data. StatCast didn't start till 2015, right?
Yeah, 2015.
9 years ago or whatever it was.
2015.
So I can't tell you what Ricky's leads were in 85 or 86 or 88 or 90. I mean, Ricky played for 24 years, so I can't tell you what.
I thought you were going to say he played for 24 teams also.
Mariner great Ricky Henderson.
I always remember him as a
Red Sox, Dodger, Padre. Was it 8 teams?
Yankee.
Right? Yankee. So A's, Yankee. I mentioned Mariners. I mentioned Red Sox, Padres, Dodgers, Met. The great Met.
And
one more team. Who else did he play for?
Let me think. Let me pull up his teams. Because I feel like the team I'm thinking of, you already mentioned. Ricky Henderson.
We got 7. He played for 8. Or did he play for 7? We had this conversation with him at a banquet one time. He was laughing. I told him, remember that going, Red Sox great Ricky Henderson. He had
9 teams.
Huh?
9 teams.
9. We're missing 2. Who are we missing?
You're forgetting Angel legend.
Angels.
And you said Dodger, right?
I said Dodger.
All right. So we got A's, Yankees, Padres, Mets, Red Sox, Dodger, Angel, Mariner, Blue Jay.
Blue Jay. That's what we forgot.
I was thinking that when I'm like, yeah, it feels too
And how
easy.
do we forget Blue Jay? See, we're goofing with the Mariners and the Red Sox. He was a World Series champion with the Toronto Blue Jays.
Him and Stu, right?
Yeah, when they got traded over to that powerhouse team, basically they went from winning with the A's to winning with the Blue Jays. Stu won 1. Ricky only won 1 with Toronto.
I still have it open. Hold on.
He only won 1. Toronto won 2 straight. He was on 1 of them.
Ricky was on, the 93 team. Then he was back in Oakland.
Yeah. He was a 2-time. Well, he was a, 4-time A?
Yeah.
2-time Padre? Have I told the interview about interviewing Ricky at Candlestick Park? Have I told you that interview?
I don't think so.
And the basis, the craziness of the interview is how old school this was. So Ricky's playing cards, always playing cards, gets up from playing cards. I go up, I introduce myself. Hey, Ricky, Chris Townsend, KMBR. It's back when I was doing Giant stuff. I said, hey, can I get you for the Giants pregame show? No problem. So we're in the corner of the clubhouse at Old Candlestick Park. And Glenn Allen Hill from Santa Cruz is right next to us. Shook Glenn Allen Hill's hand because I done interviewed. I'm young in my career at this point. What year was he a Met? I want you to check. What year was Ricky a Met? Like what year? This has got to be late 90s.
Ricky was a New York Met in 1999 and 2000.
So this is 99. This is towards the start of my career. Well, I got in like 96, 97, but now I'm more prominent on air, whatever. So say, Glenn Allen, how you doing? And so I started doing the interview with Ricky Henderson. Ricky's fabulous, by the way. Like every single time I've ever dealt with Ricky Henderson, he's great. But there was back then this idea that Ricky was tough to deal with. which was bogus because everybody you talk to now, did Ricky always want more money from general managers? That's your prerogative. It's your career, right? It's what are you worth? What do you think you should be getting? But with people like us, Ricky's fabulous. He's always been. And then throughout my Raider career, right, I would see Ricky on the field. When I used to have to walk through the West Side Club to go do the post-game show, I would, towards the end of the game, I'd walk through the West Side Club. I would see Ricky in the bar, say hello to him. Ricky Henderson's one of the greatest American athletes. I mean, when you think about his records and everything, right? I mean, Ricky is an all-time great in not only baseball, but when you look at his dominance, I mean, he's one of the most dominant American sport athletes of all time. He has records. When you have records, when you're Wayne Gretzky and you're, Wilt Chamberlain, and you start looking at these guys that have all these records, Ricky's up there with these records. Most stolen bases, most runs scored. I mean, he's a big deal. Ricky's just sitting at the bar hanging with people drinking at the end of the Raider games. I mean, that's how cool Ricky Henderson is. But the point is, I'm interviewing Ricky Henderson. Glenn Allen Hill lights up a cigarette. And he's just sitting there listening to us doing the interview, just sitting there, and he's smoking a cigarette. And I remember, so I'm interviewing, Ricky Henderson's here. Glenn Allen's behind him, and I'm interviewing Ricky Henderson, and I'm like, dude is smoking in the clubhouse.
Yeah, that was he, Jim Leland?
I was just like, you could do that back in the big leagues. I mean, one of the greatest Super Bowl pictures of all time is Lenny Dawson.
Yeah, I know this one.
Lenny Dawson, Hall of Fame quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, halftime Super Bowl Chiefs Packers. He's on a fold-out chair, halftime, drinking a Fresca, smoking a cigarette. Halftime.
Was it about 1960?
Good luck.
What year was the first Super Bowl?
Super Bowl III?
Yeah, so but 68.
Like Super Bowl II or Super Bowl III or whatever it was.
In the 60s, I know that.
4, I don't know.
I'm not going to look.
But it's one of the great pictures of all time, to where now you go in there, guys are having IVs and all this stuff going on. It's like a halftime of an NFL game's crazy. Not old Leonard Dawson in there smoking a cigarette, drinking a Fresca. A cola.
Is Fresca still around? I think it is.
I have no idea. Yeah, did we have Fresca up here for a while?
I think so. Now, yeah.
Only at the Coliseum.
Yeah.
Getting back to, we kind of got a little delayed here, but getting back to, remember this date, put it in your phone, April 18th. We're making changes. And David Force is showing us as the man in charge of this franchise. He's not afraid. Mason Miller. You can't make this up. He has pitched in 11 games. Don't tell me about fall ball. Don't tell me about college. He has pitched in minor league baseball. Because fall ball is just a collection of a bunch of dudes. This is playing for a team, getting paid by a team, playing against other guys who are paid by a team. It's minor league baseball. He has thrown 11 games, 10 starts, 28 and 2/3 innings. Now, he struck out 53 and has a 0.70. Anything under 1-2 whip,
pretty good.
You're cool, right? 0.70 whip, 53 strikeouts, and 28 and 2/3. But he has pitched in 11 games, 10 starts. And the fact that you're calling him up, all the stuff that we've heard, you've got to have 1,500 innings. You've got to have 500 at-bats before you should be able to come up to the big leagues. 1,500 innings. This guy's had 28.
But isn't it the other way? Is it the other way around? I feel like that's a lot of innings.
No, yeah. It's 500 innings, 1,500 at-bats.
That's what you're spending your entire career in the minor leagues where you come up.
Switch it. 500 innings, 1,500. 500 innings, he's had 28 and 2/3. That was a good catch, by the way.
Yeah, well, I mean, his last start was 5
Just like
innings.
me calling Dansby Swansby.
Well, I mean, he's hey.
My boy Swanson. I'm a big Dansby guy.
When you're hitting as well as he can, you can call him whatever you want.
I said this in San Diego at the winter meetings. Yeah, all those shortstops. Trey Turner signed the 11-year deal.
So hasn't Homer in Philly.
11-year deal. Correa hadn't signed with the 8 teams he signed with this offseason. Bogarts hadn't signed yet with the Padres. Bogarts is 11 or 10.
Bogarts was 11, I'm pretty sure.
So you got wait a minute, is Turner 13? Oh, no, that's Harper. Turner's 11.
Yeah. Yes.
Harper's is a 13.
Why are we forgetting? They were all like really weird years.
Whatever. I said we that was one of our topics for the winter meetings. I said, who will play shortstop the longest? Who will actually be paid to play short? These guys are all hitting free agency. It's look at all the shortstops. Remember? That was one of the big topic was Judge, and then it was the shortstops at the winter meetings. Correct?
Yes.
Those are the two topics. Where's Judge going? And then what's up with the shortstops? And the first guy to sign out anybody was Trey Turner with the big blow going to the Phillies, whoever he was negotiating with. Supposedly the Padres again. He was the guy. But
going back to the Padres.
I said if I could have one guy who's going to be playing shortstop for me, I'm taking old Dansby Swanson.
Yeah, we called him Swanson then, but it's now Swansby.
I started mixing the name Swansby.
Like we call Esty, we call him Esty Ruiz. He's just Swansby now. We just combined his name.
There you go. It's like Madonna, Swansby. But Swanson, this kid, world champion. I mean, I'm shocked. The Braves are doing great, by the way. Looking at the Braves,
pretty good.
You want some numbers on the Braves? They're taking on the Padres. The Braves. The Atlanta Braves have won 9 of 10 road games, including 7 in a row. 7 in a row road games. That is that's a hell of a start.
I mean, everyone on the team's hitting. They were worried about what's going to happen at shortstop with Grisham, but Arcia is playing well. They're pitching. Max Fried's coming back now. They're a good team.
He pitched yesterday for me.
Yeah, I just don't understand why people thought they were going to take a step back.
He gave me 5 and dive and no runs.
Well, I had Corbin Burns and he got hurt. So
yeah. Oh, Woodruff, Burns, both out.
Oh, whoa. I was going to talk about injuries. Say DeGrom's hurt again. It's just precautionary. He's hoping to make his next start.
Okay, can't make this up. Not scapula, not elbow. Not shoulder, because wasn't he one of these scapula guys?
I think so.
All of a sudden, guys are hurting their scapulas. And the only time people talk about scapulas was golf. How you turn, it's your back, how you're turning. I never pitchers talk about scapulas. But we had that with, Brandon McCarthy. He had a scap. He was the original scap problem, if you remember back when he had to have surgery. But you got all this stuff that DeGrom's dealt with. He leaves his start after 4. Because of a
hitless innings,
wrist injury.
Whoa! It'd be the correct term is right wrist soreness. DeGrom has right wrist soreness.
You can't what? You can't throw a baseball?
They called the move. The Rangers called the move precautionary. DeGrom, and I quote from Jacob DeGrom: "I'm honestly not too concerned. I would like to think I'll make my next start, but we'll see how tomorrow it is." So.
You're paying him $180 million, and he's got a wrist problem now.
Stop shortchanging him. 185.
Wrist? I can't go. I can't go more than 4 innings. My wrist. I mean, seriously.
Somebody else got hurt. Hunter Green got hurt last night, or left the start. Then he got a new contract today.
Yeah, 5 years. How much?
6 years, $53 million with the team option for 2029.
Good for Cincinnati.
Yeah, he's the only player signed through next year.
He's a great story out of Los Angeles, California.
The deal can max out around $91.2 million.
Yeah.
So good for him.
And you know what? We talked about that. When you're signing right now these deals, let's call it the floor of 60, 70 million. The high is about 120. Nobody bats an eye now. It's not a big deal. They're like great deals for you as a player for a couple reasons. No one's going to freak out about the money. No one's going to put extra pressure on you about the money, and it's generational wealth. You're getting every penny. So if you make $75 million to $95 million to $110, you're never going to have a problem with money. Your kids are never going to have problems with money. Well, after they inherit it and blow it, that's not your problem. You'll be dead.
I was going to say,
but you know how your family deals with it. No one should have a problem. Put it this way: your kids want to go to Stanford, they want to go to USC, they want to go to Notre Dame, Harvard. Yeah, you can afford it. You got no problems, right? You're not dealing with what I'm dealing with, where I'm going to have 2 kids going to college at the same time. I got problems. You don't have that problem. And the kind of money that if you sign for $80 million, Kind of like what Brandon Crawford. When Brandon Crawford signed his deal, nobody went, what? Everybody just went, oh, cool. And no one since. And Brandon Crawford, and I know I hammer the Giants, and I love to hammer them. Are they losing yet to my Fish?
They haven't updated, so I'll pull it up.
My Marlins?
We pulled up. By the way, Boog Shambi said he's unable to do it today. He sends his regards. Let's see. Oh, by the way, Ohtani.
If he's in the elevator, what's up, Boog?
Ohtani hit a home run, by the way.
He could be in the elevator going up listening right now. Come on, Boog.
Come on, bro. Marlins up 4-2 in the fifth.
Marlins are at 4-2 in the fifth on the Giants. Yeah, but, I mean, to give a little, Brandon Crawford's a 3-time World Series champion. I mean, he's had an outstanding career. He will go down as one of the best shortstops of his generation.
I don't disagree with that. Very good defensive shortstop.
Very good.
Hit a couple.
He's had some power years.
His best year hitting was
He's
like
a Bay
2 years
Area
ago.
guy from the East Bay, P-Town, Pleasanton.
Yeah, his best year hitting was like 2 years ago. Or his slugging percentage was it was the year when the Giants won 107 games. Slugging percentage through the roof at like 33 years old. And then now he's a grass. He's hitting 160 right now for the Giants.
But he signed his deal and no one said boo. That's one of those deals I'm talking about. You sign it and then it's like, oh, great. And then, it's when you get to a certain threshold, now you're going to have people looking at your numbers and looking at your contract. We're always going to be looking at your numbers and looking at your contract. Julio Rodriguez, J-Rod, love the kid. He's got star written all over him. He's got a good-looking kid, great smile. I know Moneyball, Billy Bean, Brad Pitt, we're not selling jeans here, but he looks like a star.
Yesterday, you told me he stunk and Jared Kelenic was the future. What happened?
What did I say yesterday? They're going to tear down the Griffey statue and put the Kelenic up there.
Speaking of that, I don't mean to bring it up real quick, but I said the Kings, and 2-0 now.
I'm going to let you stand here by yourself in front of all the East Bay fans and all the Bay Area fans and talk trash about the Warriors. The floor is yours.
They have won a road game. They won 11 road games all year. Until they win a road game in the postseason, I can't say they're going to win the series.
Go ahead and tell everybody how you're a Sacramento Kings fan.
Well,
this is Cody Elias, Commander Cody, on A's Cast Live. Chris Townsend, the host of the show, who once carried the Warriors to 2 championships, as I did the Warriors pre- and post-game show for 2 of their championships. I covered the Warriors back when Latrell Sprewell choked P.J. Carlesimo. I was a part of that too. Long-time Warrior fan, is not a part of this conversation. I am out of the picture. The floor is yours. Brag on the Sacramento Kings. Go ahead. Tell everybody how you feel.
I just did. Until they win a road game, I can't say they're going to win the series.
Tell them about Light the Beam and how happy you are.
I don't hate the Light the Beam like a lot of people do. I think it's something cool and creative they came up with.
Tell Warrior fans that you're glad they're miserable right now.
I'm not glad they're miserable. I'm just
Go against them. I'm
happy to see that Sacramento is doing well.
Oh, wow.
Coming from a small, it's like relating to the Pirates. The Warriors went through a lot of bad years. At least they made a playoff run in one of them.
Folks, this is when you hear fake news when they're talking politics. This is fake news in sports because what he's saying to you now is not what he says off the air.
I'm not going to sit here and say the series is over, but the series is over.
Fake news. All right.
I think it goes 6.
There's your Sacramento Kings. I am not a part of that.
Kings got to win. Warriors got to win Game 5 in Sacramento.
I am a Golden
Got to
State
win
Warriors
Game
fan.
5. Got to win a road playoff game.
Hey, you know what? We
at least we know the gentleman's sweep isn't on the board anymore because that ended yesterday. So,
I've seen a lot in baseball recently. Teams don't win the World Series, but they win some playoff series, and they seem to be pretty satisfied with that. And what happens?
Are you throwing shade, as they say, at the San Diego Padres?
There were some teams last year that they won some playoff series, and they act like they won everything. And the way they started out, there's one team that wins the World Series. Everybody after that, everybody should be hungry. Should be hungry, Philly. Should be hungry, San Diego.
Philly.
Bob Melvin told me in spring training, he was shaking his head going, you're not going to believe this. I'm not making this up. Robert Melvin told me this in spring training, that they actually have been talking about the parade route before the start of the season being part sea, part land. And Melvin couldn't believe it. Melvin. Melvin was on this show for 8 years. Bob Melvin would never talk about a parade route. And Melvin was shaking his head. You're not going to believe what people are like down here.
Well, aren't they? What are they right now? 8 and 10.
They stink.
Juan Soto's hitting
No,
111.
They're
I think they're 8 and 10.
Padres are 2. Yeah, they're 8 and 10. They're 2 games under 500. They can't hit. Juan Soto's hitting $111 at home. Manny Machado's hitting 156 last 8 games. This is classic Manny. Things will change. Don't jump on the bandwagon later on when we start effing raking and we're doing what we're supposed to be doing.
Well, I mean,
Manny, everybody in San Diego has had their lips puckered to you the whole time. Who down there is not puckered, kissing your behind it? Who's trashing them down there? They had a parade route already scheduled for the championship. What are you talking about?
The thing with them too is, their season's going to be saved on Thursday. That's what everyone keeps saying.
Steroid guy's back.
Nando's back.
The steroid guy.
He's already in the club. He's already in the dugout. He's actually with the team right now.
Are you cool with a guy being popped? And we can't sit here. We're a glass house. We've had multiple guys popped, PEDs, Frankie Montas, Bartolo Colon, which is still the biggest shocker ever.
Ramon.
I'll say it again. If you would have lined up, that was the same year Melky Cabrera got popped for the Giants. And I know exactly how Melky got. Oh, maybe. Have I ever done that story?
Yes.
If you would have lined up every single Giant, every single A, and said, everybody take your shirt off, and you would have said, all right, pick the guys who are on PEDs, no one would have picked Melky, and nobody would have picked Bartolo Colon.
Melky hit wasn't he 350 at the All-Star break?
Nobody would have picked Bartolo Colon.
No.
He's the worst bad body guy, great pitcher of all time. One of them.
One of them. I think he might be.
I take Bartolo Colon right now. He's a strike thrower. We talk about we can't throw strikes. I'll take Bartolo Colon right now throwing strikes.
Now you make me wonder who's some other bad body pitchers.
Rick Russell.
Yeah, that's one. I almost said Gagne, but he got bigger.
Gagne was on roids.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
John Lackey.
Fernando when he got older.
Yeah.
The great Fernando Valenzuela, who was great. Fernando was great. But Fernando was kind of old Fernando. I'm talking old Fernando looked like a beach ball with arms. No offense.
Oh, come on. Boomer. David Wells.
Oh, Boomer.
I mean, his name's Boomer. Yeah. It just gives it away right there. Have you met a skinny Boomer? Well,
Boomer Esiason was a pretty.
Then you got Boomer. You got Chris Berman. So that kind of cancels that one out.
I'd take Bartolo Colon. Where is Bart? He's playing somewhere? Is he playing in the Mexican League?
Let's see. Let's see where Barty is.
I know I want a lot of young players here with the A's, but I'd take Bartolo Colon right now. But getting back to Mason Miller, who's going to be going tomorrow, going to be big news. But you know what? I'm glad the way that it's happening. I think everybody's celebrating these pitchers making their debuts or making their home. I understand it. We're all trying to market and we're all trying to make money. And Fuji having T-shirts made for him. What was the kid, Grayson Rodriguez in Baltimore? They had the shirts made for him at home when we were playing them, and he had a bad debut at home. And we put a lot of pressure on these. I like how the fact that it's going to be a day game, just announced it today. But I do like how David Forst, now let's take some chances. Let's have these guys come up earlier. Let's see it. Soderstrom, let's see it. Geloff, when you're ready, let's see it. Let's see it.
Yeah, I was going to say, going back to Mason Miller, he made the one start last Friday, went 5 hitless innings, struck out 11 on only 60-something pitches. It was great to see. I mean, going from Double-A to the majors and skipping the PCL might be a good move for some pitchers and organizations. I mean, the Angels have been doing it now with their guys.
Well, yeah, you want your guys to go get their brains beat in Triple-A?
I mean, come on. I mean, there's guys on there, the Jared Koenings of the world who had a really good first half last year in Vegas. That is a outlier compared to what everyone else is doing in the PCL.
Yeah, I mean, it's the numbers. The play that the pitchers aren't that bad, the hitters aren't that good. Sorry, Sky Bolt is not Babe Ruth. It's just a reality. But we do have to realize that's where they play. And hopefully you've got eyes down there that are saying, okay, whatever the numbers are, the way I watch this guy, the way he performs, he's legit.
Yes.
This guy is legit. He's a player. I know they just had a 5-game series in Reno, or they just had a 5-game series in Colorado Springs, whatever, elevation, thin air. But when I watch this guy can play, because we're not moving these AAA teams.
No, and if you want to look at the best example, we've mentioned him so many times in the last week, but the guy leading AAA in home runs, I didn't look today, but as of yesterday, was Joe Adell. The guy couldn't hack it. He hasn't been good in the majors, but he hits well in AAA. And then the other guy was leading.
Well, I don't know. How well did he hit AAA when he was younger?
I'd have to go back and check. I mean,
he's hitting AAA well now, but how good was he when he was younger? Because he's still, as hard as it is to believe, Joe Adell is still young.
Yeah, he's only 24. And the other guy leading was Nando, but we know his story.
Earlier today on MLB Now, who was my guy, the VP of baseball operations?
Morgan Sword.
So he explained why we have the pickoff rule the way we have it. Because there was quite a few people, whether we were down in San Diego at the winter meetings, spring training, where people thought, let's just see how this plays out, and they may change it. Because obviously baseball is now showing it can make changes. And this is something that he was asked in this interview today on MLB Now. Could there be more changes now that baseball fans are starting to embrace change? We're seeing ratings are up. People are watching games at a longer tick. That is all good. More eyeballs, more excitement in the game. People can see some change. So could there be some more change? So some people thought, it's ridiculous. You can only throw over twice, and the third time, if that's a balk, but there's a method to the madness. And the way he explained it was so simple. And it was like, I get it. Because I didn't, like Vince and Ken, they went over to Chase.
Yeah, Chase Field. Not Chase.
Not Chase Center in San Francisco.
Yes,
Chase Field used to be the Bob back in the day.
Yeah.
Where the D-backs play. And there was a full video, and they went there. They've already explained all the different rules. But it's this simple. When you have a timer and you got a guy on first base and you're a pitcher, if guys were able to just sit there, come set, and then step off and look over to first base, and you'd have to reset the timer, well, it would defeat the purpose of the timer. Because I, as a pitcher, could always, as a pitcher, I could always come set, look over, step off. Come back. Now we got to reset the timer. Then reset the time. They had to figure a way to keep you from being able to do that. You just can't keep resetting the timer. So what they did was they said, okay, you can throw over twice. You're resetting the timer twice. You do it a third time, there's a penalty. Because they know by the third time you're throwing over, odds are the percentages when you throw over a third time. Because what happens is each time you throw over, if you didn't have a rule, you're getting the runner back. He's now getting used to going back. The third time you throw over, unless he's so far out there going, I'm going. A lot of times the third time over, you're not getting the guy. That percentages would just show that. But now, third time over, you got to get the guy or it's a balk. So it was basically a rule to defeat pitchers from defeating the pitch timer concept. That's how they would be able to do it. They just step off, reset the timer. Step off, reset it. Well, now you can't do that. So if you step off or throw over, it's a disengagement.
Well, we haven't got into it
So
yet.
Does that make sense? It's pretty simple. They're keeping they're keeping the pitcher from defeating the purpose of the pitch timer by only allowing them to twice disengage, step off, or throw over. That's why we have the rule. That's why the rule's not changing, and that's why it works.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw it. The Atlantic League came out with 3 new rules they're doing for the season. One of them is now disengagements. In the Atlantic League, they're going to start doing this year. You can only step off once. So
how many times can you throw over?
It says right here, single disengagement limit in conjunction with the introduction of the pitch timer. The new MLB rules restrict pitchers to 2 so-called disengagements, stepping off the mound or pickoff attempts per plate appearance without penalty. Then they go through, but it's pretty much you can only step off once. I have the full breakdown right here.
Okay, I get the step off, but how many times can you throw over?
It doesn't say. They said the reason for this is that these disengagements reset the timer, so pretty much what you went through. But
Yeah.
it looks like you can only do it. You can only limit to just one disengagement.
I would not want a pitcher to only be able to throw for once.
Yeah,
it's very drastic to basically say you can only go twice. I mean, we still need that cat and mouse game with the lefty being able to throw over, and I mean, we still need that a little bit. I mean, to just basically say you can throw over once and that's it. Anything after that is a balk. That's a. But I'm fine with testing it in a league like this where the games don't matter. I'm fine with that. Let's see. Because the one thing, say his name again.
Morgan Sword.
VP of Baseball on-field operations, wherever the hell his title is. He made sure to say we had a ton of data to back what we're doing. We have it, you know, it's point blank. This is how we implemented it. This is how it worked. He's happy that the players at this level have adapted so fast, like they always do. Professional athletes adapt. And that's the thing. If you're just a baseball fan, I get it. But if you watch the NFL, if you watch the NBA, you watch hockey. Hockey has dramatically changed. Yeah. Hockey has been change rule. Oh, my God, it's not working. Change back. I mean, so the other sports change rules all the time. Players, they're paid. They're great athletes. They can make the adjustments.
The one I really like about the Atlantic League, and I think you'll like it, they're bringing back the double hook rule.
The double hook?
The double hook designated hitter through pretty much if your pitcher fails, the starting pitcher fails to go at least 5 innings.
Oh.
The club then loses their DH for the remainder of the game and must either have its pitcher hit or use pinch hitters when the spot is up the rest of the game.
Okay, so my starter has to go 5. I mean, this is how pathetic we have gotten with starting pitching. This is pathetic. Do you realize? And we've got all these numbers every single day. You've got teams right now, and we, the Athletics, are one of them. Our starting pitching is giving us no length, and we're not the only team. And when your starting pitching gives you no length, it's a recipe for absolute disaster because somebody's got to come in and get all the outs. In 162 games, 27 outs a game, it's 4,374. 4,374 outs, not counting extra innings. Somebody's got to get these outs. And if you think on a 13-man staff, you're going to try and get a good percentage of these outs with the bullpen, good luck. You starters don't go deep. I'll tell you right now, as I'm Old Man River, and I keep talking about starters, you go ahead and play it. Go ahead, play your new little toy.
Well, I got to find it. I'm not sitting in front of the computer, so I have to.
Call me Old Man River.
Anytime you mention old school baseball, we're just going to start playing.
Don't you be upset because they tore Old Space Mountain down. Don't be upset.
Yeah, Old Space Mountain here is telling you, I can just look. And I did this today, and I wasn't planning on doing it. I was saving this for Friday, our next show, because I knew we had a lot of other stuff going on today. But I was just cruising the old stats and look at the teams whose starters have gotten the win. You ever heard of the Tampa Bay Rays?
Yeah, they've how many? Hold on, is it 11 wins from their?
They got 11 wins from their starters. How's that working out for them? Is that okay?
Everyone else say they're struggling right now.
How's your Brewers doing?
They're pretty good.
I mean, we can go down, but I can go down to the teams that got no wins from their starters. The last A's win was the last game of last season. Waldichuk going tonight, but it was against Ohtani. That's the last time an A's start. By the way, A's 30th, 0 wins. By the way, the record is your Pirates last year went 27 straight games to start the season without a win.
There's a reason why they're the number 1 pick in the draft.
How are the Giants doing this year?
Not great. Logan Webb's 0-4.
Giants have only 1 win from a starter.
I couldn't tell you who.
How are the Tigers doing this year?
They're better. They just swept the Guardians.
How are the Tigers doing this year?
Is that updated? Because they might have.
No, it won't be updated.
Well, they might have 3 because Rodriguez went 8 innings for them today.
So
they have 3.
They are well under 500.
7-9 now.
Cardinals.
They're right at 500, I think.
Phillies.
They stink.
Royals.
4-13.
I mean,
Your Guardians are 9-9.
You don't want your starters to factor in these games? You think winning in starters doesn't matter? Because I don't even know what to say. You don't care about innings. You don't care about wins. You just care about strikeouts. I don't know. Good luck.
XFIP.
Good luck. Win probability added, whatever you want to go.
I thought it was XFIP because you just take the wheel when the ball releases out of your hand.
That's my favorite. When the pitcher, the ball releases his hand, it's all out of his control. I don't know. I'd rather have starters to go deeper in games and get wins. I think I got a better chance in the end. But we're not going to judge our starters on that. What are you going to judge them on? DeGrom going 4 innings and his wrist hurts?
Someone asked me, it was a great Ray Jensen, the Karate Kid, asked me yesterday, who is the greatest starter in the history of the Tampa Bay Rays? We were talking about it, and I said Sergio Romo.
Stop it. Stop it.
But yeah, DeGrom, 4 innings, has wrist soreness. And we'll see if he makes his next start.
Yeah. I mean, that's innings pitch. I mean, now I think people are going to we've talked about it, and probably fans are like, you guys talk about this a lot. Yeah, because we're really seeing it last year and this year. If your starters don't give you innings, boy, wow, it's a disaster. And this year is going to be a year where you've got teams who are trying, and look what we got. Hey, we're going to go 6 starters. Well, 6 starters means 1 less reliever. And if these 6 starters every night are 5 and dive or 4 and dive, or hell, we're going 3 and dive.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Is this
how many times are you going to go to your long man? We've had to use Adam Aller and then now Adrian Martinez a ton. You're going to your long man already this month and already this much in the first couple weeks.
It's not good. And I was thinking about this.
Wouldn't you rather just have your starter get those innings instead of the long man?
Yeah, I don't know if this is an outlier. It is an outlier, but are we maybe seeing the effects of Sandy Alcantara pitching too many innings last year because he's not pitching well so far this year?
Ooh.
I mean, he does have a good game, but
so here's the question: what's the answer? Does anybody from a biomechanics, from a health status, orthopedic surgeon, whoever, does anybody have the answer to how much should guys throw?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know the answer to that.
I'm waiting because we keep saying starters need to throw less, but now front offices are admitting the more exposure the bullpen gets in the game, the worse it is. So what's the mix? What do you need? What is the mix? What do we need from our starters? What do we need from our bullpen? What's healthy and what's going to make you the most successful?
Yeah, and we're seeing it now. Like, what isn't the A's really? The A's bullpen might have more innings out than the starters. After what happened yesterday.
No, it's close, but no,
okay.
it's a little ahead.
Yeah, but I'm saying like that's not going to be good to start the year when your bullpen has many innings as your starting pitchers do. I mean, I'm all for your bullpen, but when they're pitching as many innings as your starters, that's not a good thing for baseball and your team, obviously.
Like how are you all in on bullpen? Like, how much do you really want? You want your bullpen more than 50% of the time?
If you don't have an ace, I mean, if your guy comes in and pitches, if your bullpen pitches 3 innings every game, 6 innings for me.
3. You know what? I'm with you. If I can get 7, 8, 9, fine.
Yeah, like
but I'm having to get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on a regular basis.
I think I'm spoiled from watching what the Royals did with Wade Davis and Holland and the
crazy guy, not Heredia.
Man, who was their bottom
guy? The guy that was hitting everybody.
Now I'm going to look. That was the 20.
He hit Brett Lowry, if you remember.
I'm pulling up the team when they won the World Series.
Yeah,
that would have been 15.
Is it Heredia? Not Heredia. It starts with an H.
It would have been Kelvin Herrera.
Yes, Herrera.
Herrera, Davis, and Holland, yeah.
Was it Herrera that hit Brett Lowry and we had that little dust up back in the day?
Those are the guys. Remember they had the guy too, Finnegan, the kid they called up from TCU, pitched well in the postseason, never saw him again in the majors.
Hey, the Giants won 3 World Series
with a great bullpen.
With a terrific bullpen. But they had guys during the regular season
they had some
that
guy
gave you innings.
They had some guy named Lincecum, Kaner, and Bumgarner and Vogelsong all pitched deep in the game.
They gave you innings. You got to get some innings.
And they
and put it this way, do you really how good is your if you're using your bullpen this much now, what are they going to be like in 6 months when you do have the postseason?
Well, they're going to be they'll probably be overworked for sure. I mean,
how many Domingo Acevedos can go 70 times in a year?
Yeah, where's he at right now?
And that's one of the reasons we see bullpen year after year. You don't see consistency in bullpens. I mean, because you're really good bullpen guys, you work the hell out of them.
Yeah, and we've seen it with a lot of the good teams now. Like, look at how much Josh Hader was pitching for Milwaukee, him and Devin Williams.
Hey, before we get to Nico Hoerner, I do like how MLB Network is doing the Judge Ohtani week.
Yeah, Ohtani had a home run tonight.
Did he really?
Yeah, 2-run homer.
I mean, I think that's great for our game. I know a lot of people go, oh, here we go. It's New York. But you know what?
Actually, what is the score of the game? It was 2-0 before. It is
4-0.
All right.
Just think about it. If you've got Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers going to be playing on Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football, they pump the hell out of it.
Yes.
You pump the hell out of the matchups. Steph Curry and, at the end when Kobe was coming to town. Kobe's coming in to take on Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. You pump the hell out of it. You do that, and it's a marquee matchup. Let's face it. Shohei Ohtani is a global superstar right now.
Yes.
He is a global superstar.
My wife sent me a picture because she's an Angels fan. Apparently, they're selling Ohtani jerseys at Yankee Stadium.
What?
Yeah. She sent me something that they're selling. Let me pull it up. She sent me a text that they're selling. Yeah, Yankees selling Ohtani jerseys from Bleacher Report.
We're all sharing the merch.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, yeah.
Sell what you want.
The
Yankees are selling
Ohtani's
jerseys.
Ohtani's jerseys in the Yankees team store.
Wow.
It'd be different if it was like a Yankees jersey of Ohtani, but it's just Ohtani's Angels with his name in Japanese on the back.
The Yankees in their store at Yankee Stadium are selling they're selling an Angels jersey that's Shohei Ohtani.
Yes. Old man Steinbrenner is probably rolling over in his grave.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That would be like Warriors selling a Cleveland LeBron jersey during the finals. What?
Yeah, that we wouldn't see that. Because it's just a regular season.
Yankees are selling an Angels jersey. Wow.
Yeah. Also,
you know what that's called? Capitalism.
Yeah.
It's about making money.
Recruitment. They're trying to go.
They're like, hey, we're going to put Ohtani. Ohtani is not going to the East Coast.
Oh, he's also not pitching against the Yankees either.
That was
strategic.
That was definitely questionable. Knowing what the weather was at game time, which I don't know. You check your app. I don't have a Doppler, but if my app says 100% rain at the start of the game, now they thought the rain was going to not be as steady. It ended up lying and being that steady, and they got the game in later. And Ohtani couldn't come out. But would you have saved Ohtani for Yankee Stadium? Even though it's brief. It's what, 2 starts?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find those notes. I think I highlighted it to what he does. He was like 0-2. His ERA wasn't very good, and he hits home runs against the Yankees. I don't know where I have it. Anyway, yeah, it wasn't very good.
But why wouldn't you if you know it's going to rain and there's a chance, why wouldn't you say, I know you got to get a win. You don't want to get swept 4 games at Fenway Park. Why wouldn't you save Ohtani for New York?
It's a fair point.
Isn't this kind of a wasted start? I mean, he only pitches once every 6 days. You're only getting so many starts. You threw him out there, kind of rolling the dice, knowing how long this game was going to go, a chance of having a rain delay. And once you go into rain delay, he's so precious, you're not going to throw him back out there. You just kind of wasted a start. How many innings did he get?
On Monday, he went 2 innings. As a pitcher over 2 starts in the Bronx, he's gone 3 2/3, allowed 10 hits, 11 earned runs, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts, 3 home runs allowed, and 1 hit batter.
Oh, because you're going to save him. Wait for it for the Kansas City Royals.
That's correct, on Friday, Angel Stadium.
You want to not pitch him against the Yankees to save him for the Royals?
Well, you want him to. That's what we call stat padding.
Yeah, because you want him to. Oh, he went 6 innings and struck out 11 against the Royals instead of having to face the Yankees.
You know what that means?
At Yankee Stadium. But we talk about building our game. Is there anything bigger than the global superstar pitching against the Yankees in the Bronx. The Yankees are the number one team in our sport. They're technically, you could debate Cowboys, Yankees, the number one American sports franchise. Don't you want Ohtani pitching at the Yankees, Yankee Stadium?
Well, you know what that means if Ohtani pitched well against the Royals, right? He's a free agent in the offseason. That just means his price tag goes up because he pitched well against the Royals. Stat padding.
I just, from an Angel standpoint, I'm just thinking about if I know there's rain and there's a legitimate chance at some point we're putting tarps on the field, and the minute they put tarps on the field, he's done.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you go opener? You're not afraid of the opener. Go opener, do whatever you need to do, and wait, knowing I'm sure we knew there was going to be no rain in New York. Save him for the Yankees tonight.
Yeah, I don't understand the rationale behind it. But
did they have the day off yesterday?
No, they ended up playing the game.
That's right. It was Patriots Day. Yeah. It was Monday. Yeah, it was yesterday. Yeah. Why not start him and save him for today in New York?
I heard people say, "What was the travel day for Angels?" I know, grueling flight from Boston to New York.
Flight? You sure they flew?
Yeah, I'm just saying. it's like the
I've done that drive from Boston to New York.
It's like the NBA
to the Bronx,
giving the Warriors and Kings 2 nights
off.
Don't
drive it, mate. Tip from Townie: don't drive into the Bronx. I did it one time. Bad idea. Especially driving out late at night in the Bronx. Maybe it's changed since 1999 when I did it, but yeah, bad idea.
Yeah, I've never driven to New York. I've only been to New York once. We should get the Nico Hoerner.
All right, Bay Area kid, grew up here in Oakland, grew up in the stadium. I mean, his memories are of the A's in the early 2000s. Then, as you're going to hear, 12, 13, 14, went to Stanford. Parents taught at Stanford. I think his mom teaches at Berkeley now, and she still lives in the area. It's not, to get a born and bred Oakland kid here lately. We've had a lot of Bay Area guys. We've had Bay Area guys play here, but Simeon grew up in San Francisco. Canna grew up down in the South Bay. I mean, you got an Oakland kid playing here tonight, and, it means a lot. And obviously a lot of people are reaching out to him. Earlier today, down in the Cubbies dugout, Nico Hoerner joined me for a little A's Cast Live. I got to ask is, when you look at the schedule and it comes out and you see you're going to come back home and play in Oakland, what was that like?
Yeah, I mean, baseball's new setup. We're playing every team every year. Love that. And first time coming to Oakland is a great feeling. My mom still lives here. A lot of friends still in the area. Definitely saving a good amount of tickets for these games. And, it was a place that really helped me develop my love for baseball. And Oakland will always be home.
I got to think you've had a ton of texts. You've had a ton of people reach out. I mean, it's a big deal to come home for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a special place for me. Awesome to share it with a lot of people to help me get to this point, and it's been a good trip.
There's not too many players. We have a lot of guys that come back. We have guys that'll play for us, like Marcus Simeon, Mark Hanna, and guys that grew up whether East Bay or somewhere in the Bay Area. But you growing up in Oakland, I mean, this stadium right here, this was like a home for you. You came to A's games all the time, a true A's fan growing up.
Yeah, I went to a lot of A's games. Miguel Tejada, Eric Chavez, probably my favorite players when I was younger, and then the Cespedes Donaldson teams. And when I was in high school, a lot of fun. Went to some playoff games against Detroit, Coco Chris walk off, and good times here. So pretty amazing to grow up in the city with a major league team and get to watch a lot of playoff teams here, and obviously all the teams that come through. And just as a kid, really helps you develop your own love of the game, and you get to see it played at the highest level.
It's fun because it's like my entire career. That's your fandom, is my entire career coming to this team. And you think about all these guys. So when you first stepped into the clubhouse and then you walked out onto the field, what was that like?
Just remember a lot of time that I've spent here. Hadn't been on the field for anything other than fireworks before. I don't think so.
That's cool.
Amazing to be here as a player, and like I said, to share that with family and friends that are around is an awesome feeling.
When we were down at spring training, I remember we were over at Sloan Park. People were like, hey, look out for the Cubs. This team could be better. They brought in a lot of new guys. So far, you guys are off to a really good start. Some people would say one of the surprises in baseball.
Yeah, we've played good baseball so far. I think, early season in baseball, good or bad, you don't want to draw conclusions too fast, obviously. But I like how we're going about everything, and I really believe in our group. And one thing I really do like is kind of what you said, is there isn't that much of a defined expectation. I think it's really up to us to make the most of that. And we've got a group with a nice combination of younger guys and veterans who've won before. We brought in a lot of guys who've won World Series championships in other places, and I can't measure that, but it's really impactful on our group. And so just been a lot of fun so far, and I like where we're at.
Yeah, people say, well, the success is early, but I'd rather rack up a bunch of wins now, right, than having to worry at the end of the year. No, Same thing with the Rays when they were going good. It's like, I want to start out well.
Absolutely. I mean, we've been sellers at the deadline the last 2 years. You want to be on that end where you're acquiring bullpen help or whatever you need and going forward and really attacking the second half with a chance to play playoff baseball, and I like where we're at.
The new rules suit you so well. They suit a lot of people, the A's also. And you got to be salivating because we're looking at the numbers, the success rate. How much are you enjoying, especially from the base stealing standpoint?
Yeah, we did a nice job as a team last year in the second half, especially before the rules changed, but we were starting to really be aggressive on the bases and had some growing pains with it, but I think it really set us up to have success as a group this year in general. Combine that with the rule changes, and I think we're in a pretty good place. I'm running more than I have before for sure.
Yeah.
But we're not going into it like, man, you got to get this amount of bases or anything like that. Just when the opportunity presents itself, being ready to go. And I think it's helped us as an offense. And we'll see if the league makes adjustments or things like that, obviously. But for now, I think we're going to be on the aggressive end. And like you said, the A's have done that as well. And it's fun to watch. It's cool to see in baseball. More dynamic brand of the game, and I think that's what the league wanted. So I think it's been a success so far.
We've always talked about as a base stealer, you're reading the pitcher, you got all these scouting reports. Now you got a timer involved. It's a clock, but we'll call it a timer in baseball. Clock's a dirty word. But you're now reading the timer, the pitcher. There's a lot more that you're using to your advantage than just reading a pitcher.
Yeah. I mean, every day we're getting in there and we're watching video, just like you would as a hitter, but as a base runner on pitchers' tendencies, be it just general movements or something that you can pick up on. And Mike Napoli does a really great job of that for us as our first base coach, and he's definitely helped me out a lot. So lucky to have people like him around.
Yeah, we covered him. He couldn't steal a base to save his life, and now he's helping you guys.
Exactly. Maybe you can teach me how to hit homers too.
When you think about going to Stanford, I know your parents taught at Stanford. Obviously, it's one of the most special places when you talk about academia in our country. When you look back at your time at Stanford, how special was it?
It was great. I mean, to be able to play that level of baseball at a school like that is an amazing combination, obviously, and to do it within an hour of home. You check all those boxes, and it's a pretty special place to be. Awesome to have a bunch of teammates out and really good times there, and they got a strong team again, so a good program for sure.
Well, yeah, we have Coach Esker on all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. I got to tell you, we're always going to be rooting for you. A local product. Can't root for you these next couple games, but obviously we'll be following you to the Central. And good luck to you, and a lot of people are very proud of you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Pretty cool. Local kid.
Who?
Nico Hoerner. That's who we just had
awesome.
on.
Love that.
This is Johnny D, by the way.
Hey, good to see you.
We've just been informed because we were talking about one of the great Super Bowl pictures of all time. Have you ever seen the Super Bowl? I think it's Super Bowl III. Check to see when Kansas City played the Packers back in the day. Lenny Dawson, fold-out chair, halftime, smoking a cigarette, drinking a Fresca.
Fantastic. That's awesome.
And we've just been informed that Fresca is now putting out drinks with booze in it.
Wow.
1967.
How about a Fresca, Danny?
Yeah.
Caddyshack?
Yep.
1967, which is Super Bowl III, or what was it?
Super Bowl I. Super Bowl II. One?
Super Bowl I?
Wow.
I said 65 for Super Bowl I, but that was off by 2 years.
Yeah.
It's a great memory by you.
Well, I know because I was born the day the Super Bowl came out, during the year the Super Bowl came out. So I always know what Super Bowl
I thought you were going
out.
to say you're at Super Bowl and say, well, you're really aging yourself.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
All righty. Quickly, as someone who has worked many years in the minor leagues, you hear about Mason Miller, 11 games, 10 starts, 28 2/3 innings, lightning fastball, 6'5", ready to bring it.
I mean, basically had zero experience. How do you feel about the move?
I love it, and I'll tell you,
I love it.
I love it. I can't wait to see. You and I
Why
talked
waste
about that.
him?
Yeah.
Why get him up here?
You know what? I love it. It reminds me a little bit of Richie Harden because Richie Harden was on the fast track too. A couple AA starts, a couple AAA starts, and then boom. So I love it. I want to see let's see what he can do. See what he can do.
Learn here.
Yep. Have fun. Yeah. I look. He can bring it. It's gonna be fun to watch what he does.
Have you seen him?
No, not in person. Not in person.
That's right, because he wasn't in AAA
Right,
last year.
yeah.
He said one AAA start?
Yeah. So
yeah.
It was last week.
Do I want to waste him at pitching in Reno or Colorado Springs, or do I want him here?
Yeah. I think you want him here. Yeah. No, it's gonna be fun tomorrow afternoon. I'm looking forward to this game. It's gonna be fun.
All right, gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of the program. We want to thank Eno Sarris, Nico Hoerner, and the great Ken Rosenthal for joining us. Johnny D, and also the Commander next right here on A's Cast Live.
With more sunshine returning, it's time to get outside and make the most of what Cinnabar Hills Golf Club has to offer, like 27 championship caliber holes tucked in the beautiful hills of San Jose. And take advantage of their amazing Bay Area views for your next special event. It's all for you at Cinnabar Hills Golf Club, an award-winning venue designed to peacefully take you away from the bustle of Silicon Valley. Go to CinnabarHills.com. That's CinnabarHills.com.
This is Chris Townsend. There are two things that are a must for me: comfort and style. Whether I'm playing golf, going to dinner, I've got to have the right feel. That's why I've partnered with Linksole, and you're going to love Linksole. They have just released their new spring line, new fabrics for their polos, lightweight and perfect for technical performance. Linksole also has new styles for their layers and hoodies with cool prints and seasonal colors. You know what they say in the big leagues: look good, play good. Go to Linksole.com. That's Linksole.com.
Chevron with Techron has unbeatable engine cleaning power, and it gives you unbeatable mileage for all kinds of unbeatable destinations, like time in the sun at the beach, or time in the sun riding roller coasters, or a day in the sun hiking mountains. Well, probably just one mountain would be enough for a day, but hiking a mountain is still an unbeatable choice for how to spend time. Download the Chevron app now to get unbeatable mileage at locations near you.
This is Chris Townsend, and if you're looking for a great place to eat and watch games, go see my friends at the Chicken Pie Shop of Walnut Creek. The Chicken Pie Shop is one of the hottest restaurants in Walnut Creek. You're not going to find a better menu, and come try their world-famous chicken pie that has been served in Southern California for 86 years. Spacious indoor and outdoor dining, perfect for your next private party or corporate event. Don't forget free parking. For more information, go to chickenpieshopwc.com. That's chickenpieshopwc.com.
Unlock offers and receive exclusive in-game features by downloading the MLB Ballpark app for iPhone and Android today. Plus, get the latest information on game times, schedules, and more.
Thanks to the Xfinity 10G network, my little brother's friends won't leave our house. When I was their age, internet with basically no interruptions was a pipe dream.
You sound like my grandpa.
Now through April 23rd, new customers can get 200 megabit Xfinity internet during our limited time Xfinity 10G network launch celebration for just $25 a month for 2 years. Go to Xfinity.com/10G, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and devices. Actual speeds vary.
Like sports, business is about winning. Championship decisions are business decisions based on what it takes to help your company win. And that's why there's UBO Business Services, specializing in helping you win every day by streamlining workflows, managing documents, and providing the best-in-class office technology. Make your championship decision with UBO Business Services. Visit them at ubeo.com. That's ubeo.com.
Innovation is at the core of Cal State East Bay, like at our Green Biome Institute, where faculty and students preserve genetic information from California's endangered plants, or how we open doors for local entrepreneurs at our Small Business Development Center. From educators to nurses to STEM professionals, Cal State East Bay has real impact throughout the region's neighborhoods, boardrooms, and the entire economy. Be part of the innovation. Connect with Cal State East Bay at csueastbay.edu/impact.
Become an A's insider today. Visit athletics.com/newsletter and sign up to receive the latest team highlights, up-to-date news, features, and more, all delivered free to your inbox. That's athletics.com/newsletter.
A's fans need Friday night plans? Well, we got you covered. Get 4 tickets and parking for any Friday night game starting at just $49 with the Friday 4-pack presented by Chevrolet. Save big and enjoy great matchups, post-game fireworks and drone shows, giveaways, and more this 2023 season.
And he drills one to right, way back, and no doubt. And that quickly, the A's have taken the lead. Second deck.
Friday night tickets are available at athletics.com/value. That's athletics.com/value.
If you're looking for a new mattress, Nest Bedding has you covered. Sleep on the same mattress Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson sleeps on. Nest Bedding is the #1 brand of online mattresses and the Bay Area's favorite mattress store. Take home the Easy Breather pillow. The New York Times calls it their #1 pick. You can navigate their easy-to-use website, nestbedding.com. That's nestbedding.com. Green and Gold fans, use the coupon code Oakland and you get 10% off your entire order. Nest Bedding, love where you sleep.
Humanity has accomplished a whole lot so far. We created penicillin, the automobile, and the internet, not to mention drones, duct tape, and the hot dog. It's all thanks to the power of human connections. And Ring Central's here to make that even easier, more seamlessly and securely, on a platform built to grow your business. Say hello to a whole new way to say hello. Visit ringcentral.com and say hello to possibilities. Ring Central. Message, video, phone, together.
Streaming from the town, A's Cast Live continues with Chris Townsend.
Well, not Chris Townsend. It's Cody Elias, the commander, and Johnny Dosco here. Johnny, tonight, Ken Waldachuk looking to get back on track for the A's. It's been a rough few starts for the young lefty. Believe it or not, the A's last win by starting pitcher was Ken Waldachuk last game of the year against Shohei Ohtani.
October 1st, right? Well, look, Waldachuk's last start was really good. You know, he worked into the 7th inning, so hoping for a little momentum there, and a big start against the Cubs. A's trying to get off the schneid and get a victory right now. Obviously 3-14, and teams better than that. So it's going to be, I think, hopefully Waldachuk has a good outing. Got Mason Miller starting tomorrow. So Waldachuk and Miller, a little momentum before that trip to Texas.
I know a lot of our fans are very excited about Mason Miller, as I am as well. I know he only had 5 innings in AAA, 28 2/3 career in the minor leagues. But I'm more excited for other reasons. Mason Miller, a fellow Pittsburgher from Bethel Park High School, went to Waynesburg, the President's League, which is right down the freeway or highway from where I went to college. He's also about 11 years younger than me, but we're not going to talk about that.
Have you had a chance to meet him and talk to him yet?
No, I can't wait to talk Pittsburgh, and then. But so I'm thrilled for him. A guy that throws hard, because we don't see a lot of that. We've got Fuji, but no one else really has a lot of velocity in the A's rotation. So it's good to see some guys with velocity coming up, and I'm rooting for him. But Ken Waldachuk, I want to see him build off that effort last week in Baltimore, because that was the last time the A's won a game.
Yeah, and look, working into the 7th last time, and yeah, exactly like we said, trying to go off that and try to dominate and beat this Cubs team, a Cubs team that's hot right now. They're not only with the bats, but their bullpen's been really good. The Cubs are surprising some people. Really, I didn't hear a lot of people talk about the Cubs with their preseason predictions. They weren't getting a lot of love, and that they're starting. I mean, look, it's 15 games, whatever, but they're starting off playing really good baseball.
Yeah, they are. And now Seiya Suzuki's back. He brings more balance to their lineup. I'm a big Seiya Suzuki fan. When they signed him last year, I was happy that he came. He's going to be playing the major leagues. What was it, 5 for 80? No, that was Yoshida. I forget what his deal was, but it was a good deal for the Cubs. He comes over, he hits well, then he's hurt, comes back, has a great game last night. Patrick Wisdom, the St. Mary's kid, is homered now in 4 straight games. Homered tonight would tie him with, let me see if you've heard of these guys. Sammy Sosa, Ryan Sandberg, and Hack Wilson for the longest home run streak in Cubs history of 5. That's Hack Wilson, who 1 year hit 56 home runs and drove in 190
RBIs. Yep.
Sammy Sosa, when he did the 5 straight, was the year that he was chasing McGuire for the home run record in 98. One of the greatest summers of my life. That's the only time I went to Baseball Hall of Fame. My dad took me right after the McGuire Sosa home run race happened in 98. I was not even 10 years old. I was 9.
Yeah, you were a very impressionable baseball age, right?
Yeah,
so
I loved Sammy. Sosa was my guy. I loved Sammy because the Pirates stunk, so I was a big Sammy Sosa guy.
Yeah.
I got to see him play all then because they played the Pirates so much, so it was great to see. And I think you have to ask the question, maybe it's a little premature, but is Cody Bellinger back?
I'll tell you what, 5 for 5, his average above 300 now, and it looks like he's having fun. And Of course, the defense and the speed's always going to be there, but to see him swing the bat, I mean, obviously you don't want him doing it against the A's, but it's hard not to root for a guy like Cody Bellinger.
Yeah, I mean, he went from being the MVP, a guy of the year I think is going to get $200-300 million from the Dodgers. He's having a great year. He's a great defensive outfielder. He bangs up the shoulder in the playoffs in 2020. He hasn't been the same. Has hit safely in 7 straight games, 464 average, 5 extra base hits, and 8 runs scored in his last 7 games. Bellinger's playing well, and he has another kid on the way, so who knows? He might. I think he's in the lineup tonight, but he could leave at any point because his girlfriend's going to have their second child. So who knows? But the guy that I'm excited about with the A's is I call him Esty Ruiz. Esty's been great. Currently hitting .321, 4 steals, 8 RBI. I'm more impressed with the 8 RBI. For a guy that they said didn't hit the ball hard, he's driving in runs. He's getting on base. He's hit safely in 16 of 17 games. I just want to see him steal more. That's
of course. And look, as I said, I saw Esty Ruiz last year with El Paso, and I thought he was a really good player. It was a small sample size. It was 6 games. The series are 6 games now, so I saw him in 6 games, and he was good. But then this year, he just seems like a better player, a different player, quicker bat. He looks a little bigger to me.
Yeah.
Looks stronger. Obviously, the speed's always there. I saw him roam center field for El Paso a little bit, but he is just a treat to watch on the base paths, in the field, at the plate. And, he's doing it all right now.
And he doesn't look overmatched in the box either, which is great for a young guy that hasn't had a lot of experience. He's only 24 years old. I'm excited for the future with him in there. Langoliers, Ryan Noda. Now you got Mason Miller here. Hopefully we see Soderstrom down the line because you've got to see him. Did you see him last year at all?
He was only briefly with Vegas against Sacramento.
He was only up for a little bit. So, and Geloff, too? Did you get to see Geloff at all?
Yes, very briefly, too. At the end of 21 and the end of 22, he faced the River Cats.
I remember seeing Geloff play in San Jose when the Ports were playing the Giants. Is that his rookie year? I think he got promoted, or his first year out of college. He got promoted to play in Stockton, and they were playing in San Jose. Blown away with him then, and now he's in AAA. Hopefully we get to see both those guys sooner than later.
Yeah, it's fun to Commander. It's fun to watch these guys, and I got a chance to see some video of Lawrence Butler yesterday. A big home run, but just to watch these guys, and of course everybody saw the Mason Miller 11 strikeouts, dominating.
Only 60 something pitches, and it was 5 hitless innings.
Yeah, 68 pitches or something. Pretty impressive. Impressive.
My biggest thing is I told Tani this. He's a kid from Pittsburgh where the weather sucks.
Yeah,
9-10 months out of the year. Pretty much. And for baseball season, I played high school baseball.
25 games, maybe 20. How many games do you get? How many games do you get in that?
Oh, yeah. It was I don't remember if it was even that many.
Yeah.
We start the season in February. It's, sometimes it's still snowing in February. Yeah. It looks like kids are throwing 100 when it's, 40 degrees out. But for him to be that good coming from Pittsburgh, I'm so happy for him just to see, because you don't get a lot of, I can't tell you the last time I saw a pitcher come out of Pittsburgh that threw this hard. So it's good to see, but I'm excited for the new Oakland, as Lawrence Butler called it in spring training.
Have you been tracking Mason Miller since 2021 or since Gardner Webb?
No, I knew about the Waynesburg and Gardner Webb of the Big South Conference.
Yeah.
But when the A's drafted him, I knew about his story. I can't wait to see him debut tomorrow. It's gonna be great. Hopefully, he goes out there and shoves, as they say. We'll see. I'm sure he might be. You're probably going to limit him a little bit, but.
He'll be geeked up a little bit for sure. You get your big league debut, but I just, talk about a fast track, right? That's
unbelievable.
Yeah.
To have only 28 2/3 career innings in the minor leagues, and you're going to be in Major League Baseball already.
Yeah.
It's great. Real quick, did you see the new rules with the Atlantic League?
I did.
What do you think of the double hook? The DH. So if your pitcher doesn't go 5 innings, you lose your DH.
I know, that was wild. I don't know what I think of that yet. I did see that. I was kind of taken aback a little bit. I need to really delve into that. What did you think?
I think it's great even as a guy that I believe in the new strategies of baseball, where starters only go 5-6 innings and you bring your relievers in. But I think it's a way to, I guess, incentivize teams for having their pitchers pitch deeper into games, because we're losing that with guys only going 4 or 5 innings to 5 and dive, and you bring the bullpen in for 4 innings. I think it's gonna be interesting to see, because they did this a couple years ago. Now they're bringing it back. I think it's going to be a couple of years, so we maybe see this in the major leagues, but I'm curious to see how it works out in the minor leagues or in the Atlantic League.
Let me ask you this. Do you think ABS is automatic? Do you think that is inevitable to come to MLB, automatic balls and strikes?
I don't know when. I know they wanted to do it sooner than later. I think it's coming. I don't know when.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see how it works out in the major leagues. It's like anything. You don't want to – how can I think if they're going to bring it, they're going to go full bore like they kind of do with the new rules. They're not going to slowly move it in. I think they're just going to go right into it.
That's the one thing. pitch timer I get, and I wish it would have been 17-22 or 18-23.
Yeah,
instead of
remember we
15-20.
talked about that
No,
before the season.
That being said, I'm good with it. ABS, I don't know. I that part of the game, I don't want to take away the umpires' zones, and I don't know.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I know that it's coming. We know it's coming. It could be next year. It could be 2 years, but who knows? Okay, so we're out of time. A's Total Access with Chris Townsend will be coming up next.
Good to see you, Commander.
Same here. I know you're doing a little pre and post tomorrow, huh?
Pre and post tomorrow, yeah.
833-625-2278.
Right.
Johnny will be standing by with Robert Costa. Call him then. But Chris Townsend coming up next with A's Total Access. We want to thank Eno Sarris of The Athletic, Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic, and Cubs second baseman Nico Hoerner for stopping by. Chris Townsend up next with A's Total Access. We'll be back on Friday for A's Cast Live at 2 o'clock when the A's take on the Rangers. Have a good night, everyone.
This is Chris Townsend. There are two things that are a must for me: comfort and style. Whether I'm playing golf, going to dinner, I've got to have the right feel. That's why I've partnered with Linksole, and you're going to love Linksole. They have just released their new spring line, new fabrics for their polos, lightweight and perfect for technical performance. Linksole also has new styles for their layers and hoods.